In the news today, 3 people are hospitalized when toxic fumes fill up a fast food drive-thru, and one of Central Florida's tourist attractions closes its doors for good.
The Space Shuttle Challenger gets a ride back to the Cape after landing in California, and Orlando welcomes home its favorite hero. I'm Bob Sokoler.
And I'm Mary Hamill. Newswatch is next.
Gonna party like before. It's the Frenchies once more. Gonna stroll across the floor.
Oh, well, turn it loose with the silver bullet. Find it, grab it, pull it. Rock and roll with a cold Coors Light.
Vapors heavy, the weight is fire.
Silver bullet won't slow you down.
Keep it light, party right.
Oh, well, turn it loose with the silver bullet tonight.
Coors Light Beer.
Whatever kind of car you drive, you want all the performance it has to offer. Fill it with Shell SU2000 Super Unleaded. SU2000 is a patented high-octane performance gasoline designed for smooth, quiet power. And it fights critical engine deposits that can cause knock. Turn your car into an SU2000 performer. Get Shell SU2000 Super Unleaded Gasoline.
What is it?
It's that noisy muffler down there. Go to Midas. Trust the Midas touch.
This is Wcpx-Tv 6. This is Newswatch 6.
Good evening. As dozens of new hotels and tourist attractions come to town, an already popular Central Florida tourist place is closing its doors tonight. And as Jill Baisley reports, the farewell is a sad one.
Florida Festival today was little more than a shell of its former self. It opened in 1979, fell on some hard times, but then bounced back.
Bottom line reason why they're closing it is we were busy every night, and it provided a lot of enjoyment for a lot of people, but it just didn't generate a high enough amount of profit to keep it open. They're really looking for more of a money-making type of thing, I think.
One of the problems, the tent, which from the start posed an incredible heating and cooling problem. But though it was warm inside today, visitors were sad about the closing.
I'm just sorry today is the last day. We've had a lot of fun out here, and it's a place where we can bring our children without feeling like we've taken them for a bad experience.
It's very unfortunate. It's a very nice facility, and it was very good food.
When we first came to vacation here in Florida, this is the first place we came, and now we just came here and we found out it was all closing, so it's pretty sad.
As for what happens now, well, much of this, including the tent, will be dismantled and sent to Mexico, where developers there hope it'll meet with a brighter future. Future plans for this site may include water amusements or possibly a parking lot. On the Newswatch, I'm Jill Baisley.
Thousands of young people all over Central Florida are victims of family abuse and neglect, but many have no place to go to get help. Newswatch 6 reporter Jacqueline Bolden says a new building dedicated in Melbourne today will provide that help.
It's an example of older women helping younger women. The 26,000-member Florida Federation of Women raised more than $100,000 to build this work and living facility at Hacienda Girls Ranch in Melbourne. Girls having problems at home live here while working things out.
To take them out of the situation, give them the opportunity to regroup, to spiritually and physically heal, and then hopefully get them back into the family situation with help all the way around with the family and the child as well.
The additional space means 45 girls can now live here. There's usually a waiting list. Luss says that's an indication of the seriousness of the problem, and she doesn't think the public understands just how serious the problem of abused and neglected children is.
Yeah, I really don't, because it's one of those things we just don't talk about. If someone has a hurt finger or gets hurt in an accident, we talk about it. But if someone is hurt or in some way harmed through neglect or abuse, we just don't want to talk about it.
Some girls don't want to talk about it either, but one who did is Betty Willis.
My mother, well, me and her had problems, and so I lived with my aunt for 8 months, like I said, and then now I'm here.
Betty says she writes her mother frequently and thinks about her all the time, especially with Mother's Day coming up tomorrow, the same day as Betty's 13th birthday.
I want to be there with Mother's Day and then watch her open the presents that my sister gave her and then I gave her. And then my birthday and then it's not the same.
Betty says while the girls are grateful to be able to stay at Hacienda for a while, most look forward to going back home someday. I'm Jacqueline Bolden on the News Watch.
A dozen people had to be evacuated today from a Union Park McDonald's. It appears exhaust fumes from the drive-through window were to blame. McDonald's wouldn't comment, but firefighters say 3 employees standing near the drive-through window were overcome. Firefighters sealed off the building and checked it for carbon monoxide. The problem with the fumes must have been temporary. No traces of carbon monoxide were found, and the McDonald's later reopened. The 3 victims were treated at Orlando General Hospital and released.
Northeastern Airlines will soon have its jets back in the friendly skies over Florida. A federal bankruptcy judge has approved a $1 million loan for the airline, pulling it out of its bankrupt nosedive. Creditors said they would rather see the airline's assets liquidated and proceeds split up. But Northeastern says they have enough money to cover creditors if the recovery plan fails. Among the offers to lure new customers, an $89 one-way fare to Philadelphia from Fort Lauderdale. The Space Shuttle Challenger returned home to the Kennedy Space Center today. The shuttle came in atop the 747 NASA plane used to ferry shuttles across the country. Challenger landed in California last Monday after a 7-day Space Lab mission. NASA landed Challenger on the wide open sands of California after the shuttle Discovery blew a tire and had braking problems when it landed at the Cape last month. NASA technicians want time to study the problem before landing another shuttle on the mile-long hard concrete runway here in Florida.
Orlando balloonist Joe Kittinger was back from Nevada tonight with something new to be proud of. For the 3rd straight year, he's won the Gordon Bennett balloon race. Today in downtown Orlando, local Shriners held a parade in Kittinger's honor. As you might imagine, our hometown hero was very proud indeed.
You win this race, you won against the best competition that there is. And
quite an honor then.
It was.
Kittinger won the race in the Rosie O'Grady balloon. He came down right near a Nevada nuclear test site. Kittinger is best known for his solo crossing of the Atlantic Ocean this past year, the only person to ever have made such a balloon flight.
Welcome back. Coming up next on News Watch, we'll tell you what Central Florida's businesses are doing to help out the local economy. That story and more when News Watch 6 returns.
Hi, Mr. Telephone. I'm here to tell you about Network One, the long-distance company that gives you the same call for less. Network One, and I hope I can say this, beats the pants off of AT&T. And I know you're thinking, whoa, Mr. Telephone, that's strong language. You bet it is. Mr. Telephone tells it like it is. You've got to respect him for that.
Springtime is spa time at Recreational Factory Warehouse. Come see our large selection of portable and in-ground spas, all at guaranteed lowest prices, including this special in-ground offer. Your choice, this beautiful 5-person lounger or this large 7-foot octagon. With deluxe equipment package and automatic chlorinator, only $19.99 with 7 designer colors to choose from. See Saturday's newspaper for all our spring specials at Recreational Factory Warehouse, where you skip the middleman and save.
Those guys at Red Lobster are at it again. This time you can create your own seafood and a seafood pasta platter. First, you start with the plate, which they provide.
On the one side, you get a seafood like a scampi or scallops. On the other, pasta with the tasty seafood sauces. And for only $7.95. If I were you, I'd get down here before they realize what they are doing.
Create your own seafood and pasta platter at Red Lobster.
Hi, everybody. This is Rod Luck. I want you to come back tonight at 11 o'clock here on News Watch 6 to see our travels all over Central Florida looking for you at play. Kevin T. Taylor and I had a tremendous time today. A lot going on. So join us again at 11 for McDonald's Florida Sports Today, only on Channel 6.
With summer upon us, a lot of students will be looking for jobs. It was Super Saturday at the Expo Center in Orlando. Today, some of those students got some help from the city, Disney World, area hotels, and industry on how to get that summer job. Anyone 16 to 21 looking for work was shown how to fill out a job application, and the sponsors had some ideas where the students should look for work. If law enforcement has sparked your interest, today was the day to take in the best of Brevard County. Police departments had their canine units on hand, some new police cars, and at least one classic model. This all part of the observance of National Police Memorial Day. Palm Bay Police were showing off their newest car. It's battery operated, called PC, and will be used to educate children about drugs and safety. And it's already, as you can see, a big hit with the kids.
2 8,000-year-old brains have been discovered in Florida by a team of anthropologists. As Newswatch 6 health specialist Charna Davis says, researchers at the University of Florida are now trying to clone the material.
The skulls spent 8,000 years in a Florida peat bog, so naturally the first order of business is a thorough cleaning. University of Florida medical microbiologist will try to duplicate DNA found in the brains. DNA is considered the genetic blueprint of life.
The advantage of getting a clean sample of DNA is we can then clone the DNA, and then the fragments are present in large quantity. From the DNA, we can, one, positively identify it as human. We can begin to ask questions as to the ancestry of these people, what kinds of diseases they had, perhaps, how they differ, if at all, from modern man.
The scientists hope to build a gene library, a chance to study ancient life. The big hitch, time has damaged some of the prehistoric tissue, and the cloning process becomes more of a problem.
It's going to be difficult and very tricky, I think, to piece together an intact gene. But it's still going to be possible to look at segments of genes, and that gives you just about the same amount of information.
It will be at least a year before the researchers can complete the library, and hopefully then this amazing find from 8,000 years ago will tell us just what kind of people our ancestors were. I'm Charna Davis on the Newswatch.
Exciting news tonight for history buffs. A team of archaeologists say they may have discovered what's left of the first Spanish settlement in North America. John Matthews has more from St. Augustine.
The Castillo de San Marcos, the castle of St. Mark. It's guarded the approach to St. Augustine since its completion in 1758, 84 years after construction got underway.
But the original Spanish fortifications may have been north of here, the scene of a dig by a team of University of Florida archaeologists.
Headed by UF's Dr. Kathy Deegan, the team has found evidence that links this site to the earliest days of the Spanish occupation, a wooden fort constructed by Pedro Menendez in 1565. Which was the first Spanish settlement in North America.
One thing is the presence of military items, lead shot of the kind we know was used at that time, a possible military button. We've also found a barrel well, which is a European feature, and around the barrel well seem to be some rows of posts that suggest a palisade line.
There is also the location. From this site, the Spanish could have controlled what entered and what left the inlet. Plus, there's evidence of what destroyed the first fort.
We found a lot of charcoal and burned areas, and we know that the earliest fort was burned in 1566, so that's another piece of evidence.
Although it's too soon to say this is or is not the site of the original fort, it's still thought to be an important discovery.
I think it is a first of some sort, and to us the most important first that it is given the kinds of artifacts we found and the kinds of structural features in the ground, the first or one of the very first sites of interaction and contact between Indians and Europeans was probably prior to 1580.
In St. Augustine, I'm John Matthews.
I love St. Augustine. Pat Michaels will have Sunday's forecast when Newswatch returns. We'll also show you some of Central Florida's best artists displaying their works in College Park. We'll be right back.
You'd never guess that I woke up with a stuffy nose, because now I'm fortified with the breathing relief of 4-way long-acting nasal spray. And I'm going to keep breathing freer all day. Because 4-Way's fortified to give up to 12 hours of all-day or all-night breathing relief from cold, sinus, or allergy congestion.
Fortify yourself with 4-Way long-acting nasal spray from Bristol-Myers.
He's fortified.
It's academic. Buick's all-new Somerset Regal is the automotive class of '85. It's sporty, passing your every test for style, quality, and value on the outside and on the inside. Buick Somerset Regal makes the grade on fuel economy, too, and is still base price from only $90.34. So let your hair down and graduate to Somerset Regal 1985 from your nearest Central Florida Buick dealer. It'll be the apple of your eye.
If you want to lose weight and look great for summer, come to Eckerd Drug, where Dexatrim and Slim Fast are on special sale now. Dexatrim helps you control your appetite all day, so you eat less and lose weight. Slim Fast is the delicious, satisfying weight loss meal that helps you lose weight without counting calories. So lose weight and look great for summer. Come to Eckerd Drug today. Get Dexatrim for $2.97 and Slim Fast for $5.99.
Kids in Cocoa Beach who had to go without are in the swim of things again today. The Cocoa Beach pool reopened to the public today for the first time in 2 years. The pool was closed for repairs to meet state health requirements. For now, the pool will just be open on weekends, but the hours, we're told, will be extended sometime next month. Penn Michaels here. Boy, what a nice day for swimming.
Definitely. Up to 90s in some areas. We had a high here of right at 90 degrees a day. So
I noticed people were moving slowly today. I think getting used to that heat.
Yeah, that's what happens here. Everybody drives slowly. Everybody does everything slowly on when it gets hot, up to 90 degrees. But tomorrow we'll have the same thing. You know, we had the ring around the sun again today. Was not as bad as it was yesterday.
I didn't notice.
We'll see about that tomorrow.
Will we have it tomorrow?
Probably not, because most of the conditions we had yesterday.
I haven't seen it yet, so I want to.
It is amazing.
Yeah. You didn't see it yesterday?
No, I missed it.
Boy, what an event we had yesterday. Beautiful. And today again, but it wasn't quite as bad. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Don't think it's going to be quite as bad, because a lot of those high clouds that have those ice crystals in it will probably dissipate by tomorrow, move out. 90 degrees for a high today in Orlando, 67 last night. No rain to talk about. Look at this. Daytona Beach had a high today of 95. Now, if that's not beach weather, I don't know what is. 63 last night, Melbourne 83 and 70, Ocala also 95, 66 last night. Current conditions here in Orlando, 88 degrees, humidity 41% with the winds east at 12. The barometer 29.90 and falling. In Daytona Beach, 77, humidity 71%. Winds northeast at 16, barometer 29.94 and holding. And in Melbourne, it is 79 degrees with that humidity up there at 72%. Winds northeast at 13 off the water, barometer 29.93. Current conditions around the United States as we take a look at the map. The southeast looks pretty good, high pressure for the most part, but there is a ridge moving down the center part of our state, and that is giving us quite a bit of shower activity, especially in the southern part, around Fort Myers down to Miami, moving up the east coast. There's a heavy shower off the coastline of Daytona Beach and Melbourne moving east. But the real story is out in the Midwest and out west, some very heavy thunderstorms and tornado watches until 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time for a good portion of Nebraska, moving up into the western part of Missouri and northern part of Iowa. Minnesota included there. As continues to move to the east, very heavy thunder showers. Tornadoes have been reported, but no damage. We can see on the current radar picture from Des Moines, Iowa, moving down into Kansas City, the heaviest activity, moving to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Some very rough activity right in the central part of Nebraska. If we take a look at the satellite picture, you can see why. Here's a cloud cover as it is contour right along that cold front as it continues to move. Colder air behind that cold front, but not very cold. As a matter of fact, the Rockies getting a good portion of it. By the time it moves to the southeast, it really won't be very cold for us. You can see the cloud cover around Florida. We'll get to that in just a moment as we zoom in. But tonight, we're going to see 70s for the southern part of our state. We're up to about Ocala. 60s, it's safe to say, for almost all of the southeast, including down to Texas. You can see where that cold air has made its effect. The 30s and the 50s and 40s, as a matter of fact. The 50s will move over to northern Minnesota. By tomorrow afternoon, though, that cold front moving very slowly. It's the time of year where the fronts really aren't that cold, and they don't move very much. So you just get quite a bit of shower activity in the form of afternoon and evening showers, sucking a lot of that very hot, warm air, moist air, rather, out of the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to give you those afternoon and evening showers, especially as that low moves to the north of North Dakota, okay? And that's where the heaviest shower is going to be. Currently, it's 77 at Daytona Beach, 88 here, 79 at West Palm Beach, southern part of the state, it's 85. There's a line of very heavy thunder showers, and let's take a look at radar, and we'll show you exactly where they are. Moving from Haines City south down to Lake Okeechobee. Now, this is moving to the north at about 4 to 5 miles per hour, some of it moving on about 8 miles per hour. There's that heavy activity we talked about way off the coast of Daytona Beach. So we're looking at tomorrow. Tonight, rather, before tomorrow, we'll see mostly cloudy skies in the southern part of the state, and then right around Lake Okeechobee to West Palm Beach and Miami, and then up around Fort Myers. The central part of our state and around the Panhandle, not quite as bad. So low temperatures tonight will be like this. We'll see generally in the 70s, the southern part of the state, 75, for example, West Palm Beach, Miami. Make that to Daytona Beach, will be 66, 79 down at Key West. So the forecast tonight, we're looking at clear skies. Low will be 64 to 67. Tomorrow, we're looking at high temperature anywhere from 88 to 90. On the east and west coast, winds along the east coast will be out of the east. Along the west coast, we're going to see sea breeze. So we'll look over the next 5 days for the forecast. Look like this. Okay, well, we're not going to have the 5-day forecast, but there it is. By the way, I can tell you it's going to continue to be warm, about 90 degrees Monday, just afternoon, evening, thunder showers. Mary?
Thank you, Pat. A warm and tranquil day to take in the College Park Arts Festival. People strolled through the many displays, some very contemporary. Art lovers of all ages were able to find their favorite works of the show. The judges' favorites will be awarded prizes. The art show continues tomorrow on Mother's Day.
Bob Gosselin is up next with all the sports. Bob will check out today's full slate of Major League Baseball action. Newswatch will be back in just a moment.
Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil. The technology behind it gives this driver engine protection he can depend on. And this driver. And this driver. And this driver. Mobil synthetic oil technology. There's no finer engine protection on Earth or anywhere else.
Hey, five.
Say, let me bum at you beach nut.
Now, you're gonna like that balanced taste.
Balanced?
You betcha. Some chewing tobaccos lean to the sweet side, while others lean to the harsh side. Even bite. But my beech nut's got balanced taste. Just right.
Give me some of that balanced taste. I'm tired of traveling.
Balanced taste. That's beech nut red and refreshing wintergreen.
Accuracy. It can give you the control you need in any competitive situation, especially in business, where so much depends on fast, accurate communications. That's why Southern Bell's network offers you an expanding array of digital data services, so you can improve productivity by moving increasing volumes of data with incredible speed and accuracy. Southern Bell, already in touch with the future.
A great day to exercise for a cause in Melbourne today. In a run for the money, a dozen people put on their running shoes to help the American Cancer Society. The 10-kilometer race was sponsored by the West Melbourne JCs. Let's hope they started early. A warm day today. We don't often have tragedies to speak about in sports, but today is one of those rare exceptions, and what a terrible thing.
When you get a whole lot of people in one area and something happens like this, you get a lot of deaths here. Police in northern England have confirmed that 40 people died in a fire at a soccer stadium in Bradford. Another 200 might be injured. The blaze started in the main grandstand area and spread quickly through the wooden structure, sending thick black smoke into the air. Now, originally, officials had ruled out arson, but they are now investigating reports that a fan was playing with matches. 10,000 spectators were viewing the game in person. Millions more were watching the match on live television. White Sox pitcher Rich Dotson had a no-hitter going through 4 2/3 innings against Detroit, then needed relief help to get the win 7-4 today. Take a look, bottom of the second. The White Sox lead at 1-0. Scott Fletcher dinks one to short right. Bases were loaded, 2 runs score. Chicago leads 3-0. 2 batters later, Harold Baines is up. He lines one up the middle past Lou Whitaker. 2 more runs are in, and the White Sox lead it 5-0. Top of the 9th, Tigers down 7-1. They rally for 3 runs, then 1 on and 2 out. Bob James, the 4th reliever in this game, comes on for 1 batter, smokes Alan Trammell. The White Sox win it 7-4. Checking out the other action this afternoon in the American League, Toronto 4-2 over Seattle. Oakland big over Boston 12-1. And in the 4th inning, Kansas City is leading New York. That's in the 4th inning. National League scores. Montreal shut down Atlanta 3-0. New York 4-0 over Philadelphia. In the 5th inning, Pittsburgh 2-1 over L.A. And also in the 5th, San Francisco 9-3 over St. Louis. They are down to the Final Four of the NBA playoffs. Boston and Philly will battle for the East crown. Denver and L.A. began their best-of-7 Western Conference final today. You just saw it. Take a look. Lakers come out smoking. Byron Scott to James Worthy for a fast 2. Then Scott all by himself. Nice little steal. Drive the lane. Up and in. L.A. up 11-0 before Denver got a point. Still in the first period, Magic Johnson to Kareem. Gets inside to jam. Lakers hit their first 13. 29-13 lead. Nuggets making a comeback. Alex English gets a couple. Nice shot here over James Worthy. Then English coming back. Drives in. Hooks it in. Denver trails by 5, 29-24. Early second period, the Lakers streak again. Kareem, the big skyhook. L.A. by 11. And Magic Johnson drives around everyone. L.A. suddenly leads by 16. They go on for an easy 139-122 victory. Thunderstorms slowing down play today for about an hour and a half of the Byron Nelson Golf Classic. Mac O'Grady with a 3-shot lead going into the final round. Paige Stewart is in second place. Birdie's at number 12, here at number 14, and then a third bird at the 16th hole. Nice long one. Left Stewart 9 under par after 3 rounds. Keith Fergus is 8 under. This putt for bird at number 13 would have tied him with Stewart. Didn't quite go. The ball kind of sits there on the lip. Fergus is in third. Final round coverage of the Byron Nelson Classic begins tomorrow at 3:30 here on Channel 6. WCT Tournament of Champions men's tennis going on today at Forest Hills. It'll be a rematch of last year's final when McEnroe and Lendl go at it tomorrow afternoon. Take a look. McEnroe sporting a headband and thigh wrap. Fell behind to Henrik Sundstrom 2-1 in the first set, but then reeled off 5 straight games to win the set. Sundstrom, one of only 4 men to beat Mac last year, rebounded for a victory in set 2. That was it. The Swede broke it on match point. Sundstrom hitting it wide. McEnroe wins it 6-2, 3-6, 6-2. And as I said, take a look at the score. He will face Yvonne Lendl, an easy 3-set winner over Aaron Krickstein. Doug Hanna's Moon Times, hunting and fishing tomorrow, 6:30 to 8:30 in the morning and 6:50 to 8:50 in the afternoon. And as I showed yesterday, another needlefish. I can catch needlefish, and I didn't even go out in Hannah's Moon Times. It was 10 o'clock in the morning, and got a needlefish about that big in my fishing report. You saw it, Bob.
I did. Didn't you see that? It was the most unusual thing I ever saw.
Do you eat that after you're done?
I wouldn't eat it. I thought I'd caught a baby swordfish or something.
That's what I thought it was, too.
I wouldn't eat the thing.
Thank you very much. When Newswatch returns, we'll tell you how you can rent the life of the party. Don't go away.
Just how big is big? Buick's Big Value 1985 LeSabre. Elegant, subtle styling. Big on performance, too, with its 3.8-liter V6 engine. Then, big gets even bigger when you open the door to leg-stretching room and luxury for 6 adults. Hey, and if you think that's big, there's over 20 cubic feet of usable trunk space. Buick's Big Value 1985 LeSabre. Hurry and buy one now at the Central Florida Buick dealer nearest you. Because like magic, you'll grow to love it.
Delta gets you to Bermuda now. The exhilaration of sailing, the challenge of golf, or the satisfying self-indulgence of just soaking up our glorious sun. There is no island, no place, no experience quite like Bermuda. And now Delta gets you there with special low prices on dream vacation packages. So see your travel agent and come to Bermuda now.
A beautiful swimming pool from Recreational Factory Warehouse will mean years of fun for you and your family. We have the area's largest selection, all at guaranteed lowest prices, including complete 18-foot pool packages with heavy gauge liner, 3/4 horsepower sand filter, deluxe safety ladder, and a complete chemical and accessory kit, all for only $6.99. That's right, just $6.99. See Saturday's newspaper for all our family fun specials at Recreational Factory Warehouse, where pools are truly factory direct.
Once again, today's top story, one of Central Florida's tourist attractions is closing its doors. Florida Festival first opened in 1979, but recently has fallen on hard times.
Owning a hot tub is a dream that most of us would like to have come true. But if you can't own one, would you be happy to have one just for a day? Reporter John Carlin tells us how you can rent some temporary tub fun.
An unusually brisk day, not at all what you would call picnic weather. And yet here where you would least expect it, there is life. Indeed, the weather weather may have dampened the spirits of this party, but a new trend moving across the country is landing in the backyards of Americans. The hot tub has become portable.
People are starting to catch on to the idea that they can have a lot of fun at home and enjoy the therapeutic values of a hot tub. And just about any kind of weather you want to enjoy it in, a hot tub is a wonderful thing to experience.
Having the party brought to you costs a lot less than sinking thousands into your patio. But make your reservations now, because the idea is making quite a splash. Don't you have a history of it raining on your birthday?
Yes. Last year it rained. I was going to have a picnic and it rained. And the year before that it rained.
And so with the advent of portable hot tubs, parties, birthday or otherwise, will free Americans from the fear of watered-down festivities. John Carlin for CBS News, Richmond, Virginia.
Looks like fun.
Tonight at 11, they have the first day of qualifying for the Indianapolis 500 Memorial Day race. A new qualifying record from Pancho Carter to gain the pole, and we'll tell you about it at 11 o'clock.
You're a
down
short
off of
fella,
there. What are you standing on something?
I was going to try to tell him he was a short fella. Okay, tomorrow another hot one, about 90 degrees. Go to the beach if you can. It'll be nice and clear tomorrow.
If we can.
If you can. I won't be able to.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Sure.
Early.
Get up early.
Incidentally, tonight at 11 o'clock, the story of the overweight hamburger. That's at 11 o'clock tonight. Overweight. Join us, you'll find out about it. That's our early report for this Saturday evening. Be sure to join us at 11 for a complete wrap-up of today's new and the overweight hamburger.
Until then, from all of us here at Newswatch 6, have a good night.
Good evening. This is the CBS Evening News. I'm Harry Reasoner, substituting for Bob Schaefer. Fire and panic and death swept through the wooden grandstand of a crowded soccer stadium in Bradford, England today. The casualty toll, at least 40 dead, 149 injured, some seriously. Dan Raviv has more on the lethal firestorm.
This is a burning hell. And look at that. Oh, the poor man. Oh, this is awful.
The entire grandstand was burning, and it was live on TV. Millions of sports fans who had tuned in for a soccer game saw a disaster unfold. Just before halftime, the Bradford City versus Lincoln City game was stopped when fans began to flee their seats. What started as a small fire spread quickly through the wooden stands. The cause of the fire is not known, but officials are not ruling out arson. The survivors were those quick enough to run for their lives.
I took a dive over out of the seats into the front and then a dive onto the field, and two blokes pulled me onto the field.
And one of my inspectors got a woman halfway out and couldn't hang on to her, and she just went.
Bodies are being dragged away from that stand. The police have done a manful job because the rafters have been coming down on them, and you can see the exhaustion and the panic on the faces of some of those people there.
Many bodies have been found in what remains of the Bradford Stadium, and the search for others in the debris could take days. Dan Raviv, CBS News, London.
In Chicago today, a review board heard final testimony in the case of Gary Dotson. The convicted rapist, whose alleged victim now says it never happened.